Hey guys, Triple B here. Tonight we're going to be trying out a deck list that was actually requested by one of our viewers, Tortcourt. He had a very interesting idea to pair up Pikachu V-Union and Morpeko V-Union and Luxray. And it's kind of busted. If you guys ever have any deck list ideas you want to run past me or see me play on stream, just let me know in the comments below or shoot me a message in the Discord. Always happy to try them out. But let's get into the deck list and see how this all works. So with V-Union cards, they are pretty interesting. They're 4-part cards that you need to get them all into the discard pile to be able to play them. So we'll look at Morpeko V-Union first. Each part of the card is going to have a different attack. So the first part of it, it's got the attack Union Gain. For 1 colorless energy, you can attach up to 2 lightning energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon, which is a handy way to accelerate energy out to it. It's a lightning type though, so we are going to be running the Flaaffy engine to do that a little bit faster, but the option's there if you need it. Second attack it's got is all you can eat, so you get to draw cards until you have 10 cards in your hand. Can be helpful if you're breaking a little bit just to get set up, but if you're getting to the point where you have these in play, you're likely going to be going for some other attacks. And for some big damage, we've got Burst Wheel. So you discard all energy from this Pokemon to use this attack, but it's going to do 100 damage for each card you've discarded in this way. So the attack cost being a lightning and 2 colorless, you're going to be discarding at least 3 energy, doing 300 damage. You're taking out V-Stars. Attach a 4th one on there, you're doing 400 damage. You're taking out anything in the format. It's pretty busted and a solid way to take out things like Duraludon VMAX, Kyurem VMAX, just big beefy guys you wouldn't normally be able to get around. And the final attack is Electric Ball. Just lightning, double colorless, straight 160 damage. It's pretty good going up against Lugia since you don't need to discard energy. You're going to be doubling that, doing 320 for an easy knockout. Also just handy to be able to half hit into things. Morpeko does have 310 HP, so you can eat hits and just kind of half hit into things. It's a fair way to do the prize trade. Other things to know about V-Unions, they are like V-Maxes. When they're knocked out, you're going to be giving up 3 prizes, so do be mindful of the prize trade. For the Pikachu V-Union, we've got the similar attack in Union Game. Same as the Morpeko, 1 colorless energy. You can attach up to 2 lightning cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. We've also got Shocking Shock. Very creative name. Does 120 damage for a lightning and a colorless. You get to flip a coin. If it's heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. Can be helpful to buy a bit of time. Also, just having an attack that's only 2 energy. Maybe you've only got 1 Flaaffy in play. Attach for turn, use 1 Flaaffy, you can start swinging, does a bit of damage, and then follow up with one of the other attacks for a knockout. Next up, we've got Disconnect. For 2 lightning and a colorless, you do 150 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards. So similar to Vikavolt V, but for bigger damage. It's a pretty nice way to be able to half it into your opponent and just slow down their next turn, so they can't use things like Ultra Ball or Quick Ball and get into other attackers. Maybe you're up against a Lost Box variant, they're not able to use Mirage Gate, it can be very helpful. And for the big attack, we've got Electro Ball Together. It does 250 damage for 2 lightning and a colorless, just a handy way to be able to do some big damage. You can prevent them from being able to use items and half hit them and then follow up with this, or maybe you just swing in with this, you can be taking out basic Vs in one shot. Our other attacker is Luxray V, so it's got Fang Snipe, does 30 damage for 2 colorless energy. Your opponent reveals their hand and you get to discard a trainer card you can find there. So maybe you look at their hand and you know they just need boss for game, just get rid of it. You know that they're struggling with their hand size and you can see their hand is not so great, but they've got a professor's research. Just get rid of that now that you're relying on top deck. It's pretty helpful to be able to get into and just do a little bit of damage. Does 30 damage, then the Pikachu V-Union can come up and do 250 and finish off a V-Star. It's just a nice 1-2 combo to be able to do. The second attack is Radiating Pulse, does 120 damage for 2 lightning and a colorless. You discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, so there is a bit of a trade-off, but it's going to paralyze your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's a great way to buy some time and also just do a bit of little half-hitting. So it seems to kind of be the trend for this deck. You're going to be 2-shotting things. It's kind of where the format's at for most decks anyways, but you get a lot of additional text that come along with it. Discarding trainers, paralyzing them, making it so they can't play items. There's some very nice combos that can be done with this deck. We do run a 4/4 Flaaffy line, so it's got the Dynamotor ability. Once during your turn, you can attach a lightning energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon, handy way to charge up our attacks. Most of our guys have pretty cheap retreat costs, but we do also run Air Balloon, so we've got 2 copies of that. We can set up a Flaaffy as a pivot, something gets knocked out, Flaaffy goes in the active, Dynamotor to the bench, retreat into whatever we've charged up, and just get attackers going. Other attacker we do have in the deck is Luxray. Another one, not a V, and we don't even need to evolve up into it. Since its ability Explosiveness, this Pokemon's in your hand when you're setting up the game, you can put it face down as your active Pokemon. The nice thing about it though, it's not a basic, so if you get a hand and it's your only Pokemon to play, you get to see what your hand is and choose if you want a mulligan or if you want to trigger this ability. So it does give you that option for optional mulligans, which you don't really see in Pokemon very often. It's pretty cool to be able to pull it off. Its attack, Seeking Fang, is going to do 50 damage for 1 colorless energy, and you get to search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards and put them into your hand. It's a very helpful way to get into our V-Union pieces, since we are going to be running Professor Burnett, so we can go use this, do a bit of damage, get Professor Burnett to guarantee 2 V-Union pieces, get an Ultra Ball to get into another one, and maybe we've already got 1 piece in our hand. It's just a really handy way to get our deck going very quickly. Also, it's got free retreat, so it's very helpful to have as a Flaaffy pivot if you do get to start this. Trade-off with this, though, since we don't evolve up into it, we just started if it's in our hand the first turn, it's sort of like VIP Pass. If you're not seeing it that first turn, it's just not going to come into play. And for some draw support, we do have a one-off copy of Greninja. So it's got concealed cards. You get to discard an energy from your hand and draw 2 cards. We want energy in the discard pile to be triggering Flaaffy, so it's a very helpful combination to be able to accelerate energy and get some draw support. We're not going to be able to use Moonlight Shuriken since we only have lightning energy in the deck though. And then for the trainer cards, pretty standard for the most part. We've got 3 Quick Ball just to get into our Mareeps and our Luxray and our Greninja. It's also a helpful way to discard our V-Union pieces. 4 copies of Ultra Ball. It is the only item card we have that can search out our V-Union pieces. They're not technically evolutions or basic Pokemon, so Quick Ball doesn't get them, but Ultra Ball just specifies it gets a Pokemon, so we can get the V-Union pieces that way. Get into them, use Quick Ball, discard them, get into a Mareep, or use Ultra Ball, discard a piece, discard something else, get into another one, use another Ultra Ball, discard it, get into another one, and just kind of chain it that way. Got some Trekking Shoes for some additional just draw power, be able to get through our deck quickly, and then to get some basic lightning Pokemon, we do have 3 copies of Stormy Mountains. Helps you set up into your Mareeps very quickly so that we can be focusing our Quick Balls and our Ultra Balls just to get rid of these pieces and get into some other things. We've also got 1 copy of Alistair. It's one of those supporters you don't see very often, but you find these niche decks where it makes a lot of sense. So it lets you draw 3 cards. If you draw any cards though, you get to discard up to 3 cards from your hand. So if you've got V-Union pieces you want in the discard pile, it's a great way to be able to do that, and it's up to 3 cards. So if you only want to get rid of 2, you only have to get rid of 2. If you only want to get rid of 1, you only have to get rid of 1. But you do need to get rid of at least 1 card from your hand. Do keep that in mind. It's not just a straight draw 3 card. We've also got Peonia. You get to pick up 3 of your prize cards, put them into your hand, and then for each card that you've put into your hand in that way, put something back down as a prize card. So if we've prized any of our V-Union pieces, it's a way to get them out. As previously mentioned, the V-Union pieces aren't considered basics, so we can't use Heavy Ball. We need to be able to use Peonia to get them out of the prizes if they are there. We've also got Professor Burnett, mentioned it already, but it lets you search your deck for up to 2 cards and discard them, so a great way to just get those V-Unions immediately in the discard. And then standard draw support being 4 copies of Research and 3 copies of Serena as a pivot between Gust and Draw. 2 copies of Air Balloon, and then for energy, we've got 10 basic Lightning Energy. We want a lot so that Flaaffy can be triggering, and then 4 copies of Speed Lightning Energy. When you attach it to a Lightning Pokemon, you get to draw 2 cards, so it's just a great way to get some more draw power out of the deck. That's a deck list. If you like it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe so you know more shenanigans like this is coming out. Let's jump on ladder and see how we go with this tonight, though. Alright, do we keep this hand? I think we keep this hand. Would we want to take mulligan? Nope. So we know we can get the attack off. We've got the attachment return. We've got double shoes. Research to get out of it. 1 V-Union piece. Up against Lugia. Either of these is a fine play. That's pretty cool. Okay, looking like we're going towards Morpeko. No, ditch that. Ah. Beautiful, that's what I want to see. Throw that down. 2 Morpekos in the bin. We Ultra Ball this and this to get into another Morpeko piece. We Quick Ball it away to get into a Mareep. We have all the Morpeko pieces. Oh no. Okay, well that at least we didn't burn resources for. That's we happened to get them, so I don't feel like a Goomba as much. Get that. Quick Ball it away. We get that, we get that, we get that. They're all good options. This at least guarantees us that we could be getting a knockout next turn. Well, not guarantees, but strong emphasis on we could get a knockout next turn. Whereas we go into this yeah, I think we're gonna go for him. I think we're going for the Luxray V. And like we could get this to guarantee the Pikachu because we've already got what, 2 pieces in the bin? That guarantees the Pikachu. We've got 1 Flaaffy. We could get like I guess we could get the other one, but we could also just go for Static Shock. It gets the knockout into the Lugia. And we've already got 1 Flaaffy guaranteed attachment per turn. That should be fine. So yeah, let's just do that and we'll get this to draw out a bit. Like if we went for a double out to Flaaffy, the only other out is Ultra Ball, and we just don't really have the cards to discard for it at the moment. Like we've got Speed Energy, gets us into 2 cards, and then we're just banking on that they're both discardable, like things we want to get rid of for Ultra Ball to get into the other Flaaffy to charge this up, do Radiating Pulse, paralyze it, well, it just knocks it out. Then it does put us in a tough position the following turn. Photon, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, looking forward to OCIC. Pretty excited for it. A little bit nervous, but excited. Excited. Heading out tomorrow around like 2-ish. So my flight's at 4. My boss is giving me the okay to take like a half day, so heading out, and it should be good. It should be good. Been a while since I've gone to a like competition. Well, I've never gone to a competition that size. Last time I went to anything sort of at that level was regionals in Melbourne. So it'll be good. It'll be good. I hope I make day 2. Optimistic for it. Not expecting it, but optimistic. How you been though? You having a good week? They run Dunsparce or no? If they don't run Dunsparce and they're committing energy to this, that seems risky as hell. Rooting for me? Thanks, man. Get on live stream? I don't think so. I don't think so. It would be cool though. It would be very cool. So hopeful, but we'll see. You've been testing post rotation stuff. Sick. Find ways to not brick with Miraidon. Really? I didn't think Miraidon would brick. He looks like it should be pretty consistent. Oh, look at that. Just top deck the other Flaaffy. All that talk about how do I get into a Flaaffy. I don't need to worry about it. I just get into it. That's how. Best way to do something is just by doing it. And we said Pikachu, right? Yeah, we said Pikachu. Grab that, play it down. Make them poop the pants a bit. Just a bit. Don't want them to ruin them. So we've got... This coin flip paralyzes them, gets the guaranteed knockout. They can't play item cards. Yeah, that's what we're going for. They can't play item cards. It means they shouldn't be able to get into a Veltal. If they can draw into it, like if they have Luminion in hand or something. Oh, if they have Luminion. Nah, yeah, they will have 2 bench spots. I say they don't have bench space. We're about to kill this. They're about to have bench space. See, we're doing them a favor by killing this Lugia. Gives them options. But it does mean like they can't quick ball to get into things like Dunsparce or a Veltal if they're on Dunsparce. The Veltal they definitely should be running. Shouldn't say they definitely run. I don't know. Everyone's got different mindsets on things. You play with proxy cards and you can never find the electric on your first 2 turns. Ah, so against the Lost Box, you're finding yourself struggling to get a healthy board. Fair, fair. That's kind of half the fun of the game though, right? Is trying to find ways to work with what you have. Find ways to obviously make the deck list as consistent as possible so you have as many things to play with as you can get. But yeah, when you've got a bad hand, it's just seeing what you can do with it, because you never know. Your opponent could have a worse hand. They might start looking strong, but then that's all they've got. Like the rest of their hand, maybe it's just like Like up against Arceus Duraludon. You never know. Maybe they're just holding Hyper Potions and it does nothing. What are you doing killing my sheep? Get out of here, sir. You're not getting extra prizes. I'm not giving them to you. I'm gonna kill this, though. Oh, do I kill him or kill him? No, I keep the Serena, right? Because Serena can get into that. Is this a threat? Have they used any powerful energy? They're all on the Pepperoni right now? Yeah, we're fine. I think we just hold this hand. There's literally no benefit to us getting rid of this hand. Oh, you can get rid of these. These are useless. Get rid of those, get into another sheep. Getting the other Morpeko piece, I don't think benefits us in any way, shape, or form. Luxray is able to kill him. Oh, Luxray just paralyzes. But he's able to kill him. Okay, found the other Morpeko piece. Yeah, overall, you're happy with how fast it is, though? That's awesome. Planning to maybe take it to EUIC. Ooh, is it EUIC is going to be in Scarlet Violet format? When is that? Be very exciting. Oh, the Ultra Ball, they get Dunsparce? Okay, never mind. That's fine. Yeah, get a fish. Yeah, 14th of April, so bang on the day that rotation becomes legal. That's cool. I like that they did that. Very excited for you, man. Hey, you get that out of here. Well, actually, that does nothing. Yeah, fine. You play that card. Puts me down to a 2-card hand, doesn't gust out my guy into something that can't retreat and buy himself time. Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. They're just gonna hard retreat into Archeops. Alright. It's a strategy. Like, I'm thinking at this point, yeah, just go for the Luxray attack then. Oh, never mind, I just go for the kill Lugia attack. Yeah, fish would have been a safe play, but this is the epic play. Alright. I can get behind the V-Unions. What am I cooking up here? This is actually a list from Tortcourt. He sent, well, it's a list he sent and then I edited. So I added in the Professor Burnett. What else do we check in? But yeah, he's one of the, more so a regular to the YouTube channel. I don't know if he's really come by the stream too much. I think he's out of the time zone, which makes it a bit tricky. But yeah, he sent me the Morpekos and the Pikachus to build this list because he's like, hey, I really like this list. Do you want to give it a try? And I was like, absolutely. So it's, you got Pikachu V-Union, Morpeko V-Union, Flaaffy engine to charge it up. You've got 4 Luxrays as well. So if this starts in your opening hand, you can play it as a basic. And you also get the option that if you start it, the game will actually ask you if you want to take a mulligan. So you can look at your opening hand, be like, I have the option to use this because of the ability. But if the rest of the hand is shit, you can just be like, you know what, I'm going to take a mulligan and keep doing it, which is pretty cool. But since you do have the other basics, it's not like an infinite thing. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and just give a thumbs up to let me know. If you need some more deck lists, they should be popping up on the screen right now, though. Till next time, take care of yourself.